Oh, isn't that just fantastic? I had everything set up and it worked all brilliantly, and now Minecraft isn't being captured. Oh, don't you just love streaming so much? Missed it. Truly did. Welcome back to the Pixelmon World Cup. We have our second set of matches for today, between PokeCafé and Snorlex. Both teams are just getting ready. But it does appear that the two first battlers now, I would check the point values, but I am genuinely scared to tab out while this stream is going. So I'm not going to check the point values. You'll have to use your imagination. Battle should be starting soon. Second, I thought it was going, and I just missed like most of it, but no, it's not starting. Should be starting soon though. I should probably not have my mic right next to my drink without a noise gate. Oh, match is starting. Have a Landorus and Tapu Fini lead. As Landorus will not be able to stay in to set rocks or anything. Let's go for Moonblast, expecting a switch. Or perhaps just not gold, as the Rillaboom does come in, taking quite a chunk, but this Finny will be immediately forced back out. However, that Rillaboom taking a big chunk right off the bat could be quite good going into later. As the Caesar does come in, almost certainly a Mega Caesar, hit by a superpower for its. As the Landorus comes back in, so the Caesar actually goes for a Roost, expecting the switch. Not entirely sure what this Landorus is running. While it can threaten damage on this Caesar, it can't really threaten an Oko. Unless it's perhaps running the Flying Zedstone or the Zedstone, Zedfly or Zedstone Edge. I've seen it a couple times, not in this tournament. I have seen it but even then I'm not sure if that would be enough to kill. as the opposing Landorus comes in. As I Declan I does set rocks in the fairly standard match so far. Landorus goes for the default. Opposing Landorus want. It will be able to set up rocks again. Out nested. So it will switch up as the Landorus does get rocks back up. Landorus once again will be threatened here. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens as the Rillaboom can come in, as it did manage to regenerate some health through the terrain, but it will still take a huge amount of damage if it does. So likely into red. We'll have to see. One of the players thinking here. Declan coming back with the Rillaboom, which does take a Moonblast, taking it down to 15 health. Barely surviving. Surviving just. This Rillaboom can no safely switch in. As the Landorus comes back in, rock damage as the opposing Heatran comes in, does have Air Balloon. I expect to see a U-turn out here to probably pop that balloon and switch to something else, or perhaps going for something else. Does go for the U-turn, does pop the balloon, but Flame Body does proc, burning that Landorus. That could actually be very devastating later in the game. As one of Landorus's strengths is the fact that even without any attack investment and investing fully into its defensive, it still hits like a truck. But it's going to hit like half a truck with that burn. As the Heatran does use Magma Storm, trapping in that Slowking. Earth Power would hurt here, especially with it being trapped. However, that Slowking can just Chilly Reception out, but it doesn't. It stays in, going for the Thunder Wave. Heatran already a slow Pokemon, even slower now. I do hope this Slowking has access to Chilly Reception, or it's probably going to die here by being trapped. It does. It goes for the Chilly Reception and pivots out in something that can. It's looking. Landorus comes back in. That air balloon is popped. Heatran will not be able to stay in. Locked into Earth Power. As the Landorus does come switching into the Earth Power damage. As the opposing Landorus comes in, as we do get Rock set up now on both sides. Yeah, with this Intimidate and this Burn, there is no reason for this Landorus to stay in. It will not be able to do anything. I could go for a Defog, but I'm not really sure why you do, as you know, you've set up rocks of your own, and I think that, especially with that Rillaboom, as I do believe that Rillaboom is in danger of just dying to rock damage. As the Thundurus comes, quite a bit of U-turn damage actually. Of course, it does take rock damage as well. Not running heavy duty boots. As the Darkrai comes in. I do believe the Thundurus is slower. It will be threatened out as the Tapu Fini comes in. Darkrai goes for the Z Hypnosis, but it does miss. Very unfortunate. Still does get the speed boost. Depending on what it could threaten the Finis. I do believe it gets Sludge Wave. However, with it running Z Hypnosis, it's almost very likely not, as it's probably running a Z Hypnosis, Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam set. Darkrai does switch in, bring in their own Tapu Fini. Does take a chunk from Moonblast. I'm wondering if I mean, in a 1v1, I think the Tapu Fini, sorry, of Professor Gazpacho, with its already having more health. I don't know what EV spreads or sets these two Finis are running. I would assume that in a 1v1, Professor Gazpacho would win, as the Tapu Fini actually goes for the defog, clearing all rocks, actually allowing that Rillaboom to potentially back in. Galarian Slowking does come out. We have seen some Galarian Slowkings put out some surprising poison damage, surprising amounts of poison damage in this tournament so far. Tapu Fini cannot safely stay in. Heatran does come out. The Slowking goes for. What do you want to do here? Do you want to hard swap or slow swap? You generator. So you don't need to worry about taking damage, but an Earth Up. You go for the hard swap, bringing the Tapu Fini in does take a Magma Storm. Now trapped. Could be bad. as it's very likely that this Rillaboom could come in and clean up. However, Declan needs to bring this Rillaboom in safely, as they cannot hard swap or the Rillaboom will die. Do whatever damage the Heatran will switch out as Finny fight. Both Finnies at around similar health values, although Professor Gaspacho's have slightly more health. Although I believe only one of them is. Very curious as to what the other. It's if Professor Gaspacho is running a choice item, be very bad as being locked into Surf here while you're trapped against this opposing Finny will be pretty bad. Get to switch. Taking minimal damage from a Moonblast and force this Finny back out. As the Heatran does come back in, but the Slowking Chili Reception's out, bringing in the Incineroar. I believe we've seen one Incineroar in this tournament so far. Incineroar, of course, one of the best Pokemon in doubles. Not quite as strong in singles, usually being banished to the lower tiers. Have to see exactly what this Incineroar wants to do. The parting shot. Bring the Slowking back out. Sorry, not. Again, just noticing the fact that this Heatran does not have any health recovery. None at all. With that special attack drop from Parting Shot, I think this Slowking thinks it can beat it. The only health recovery this Heatran actually has access to is grassy terrain. That Rillaboom is really low. Tapu Fini comes in, taking the. What do? Do you go for the Surf again, knowing that you're not much if they switch to the Tapu, or are you just going to go for the Moonblast, risking the Heatran in, but killing the Rillaboom and potentially killing the opposing Tapu? And they go for the Surf. The Heatran takes a lot of damage but doesn't quite die. Finny is now trapped by a Magma Storm, and its health is getting lower and lower and lower. The Heatran dies to the future sight. That is quite a big loss. That Heatran was one of the main things that was stopping the Galarian Slowking from pivot. Rillaboom comes in. And he's very low. Do you have a switch into this Rillaboom, or are you sacrifice the Tapu? I apologize if my mic picked that up. I moved a bag of cinnamon rolls away from my mic so I could eat them without being judged. What do you want to do here, Professor Gazpacho's side? You need to be careful here around this Rillaboom. This Rillaboom will kill this Tapu Fini this turn if it stays in. But do you have a confident switch into it? Or are you just going to let this Tapu Fini die? You do decide to just let it die, the Grassy Lad coming out. As the Scizor comes in, unthreatened by the Rillaboom and able to do, well, I'm pretty sure Bullet Punch kills here. And even if it doesn't, Rillaboom cannot threaten Scizor that much. It does go for the superpower. It does an amount, but not that much. Its attack and defense is decreased. The Scizor goes for the Swords Dance. It can. That was a fantastic opportunity. As this Rillaboom is now -1 defense, and this Scizor is +2 attack. A Bullet Punch certainly kills here. Another super. Get any damage you can. Scizor goes for another Swords Dance. Unafraid. Knowing that every time that Rillaboom uses Swords Dance, so every time that Rillaboom uses superpower, its attack goes down. The damage output it has goes down. Go for another superpower as the Scizor just roosts through it. This is very bad. Declan has just allowed this Scizor to set up completely for free. Rillaboom comes in, the Landorus comes out as the Scizor uses its third Swords Dance. Does get -1 from that Landorus, but it is now at +5. Going for the Bullet Punch, killing the Landorus. Take Rocky Helmet damage, but I think a bit late to matter. The Finny comes out. I'm fairly sure Gazpacho can just sweep from here with this Scizor, as Declan has just allowed it to become this absolute monstrosity completely for free. The Scizor just sweeps through the team. That poor Diancie, that's insane damage that thing's gonna. Yep. That's like 400 to 500% damage from
Rillaboom does come back on field, but it is too little, too late. As the final bullet punch is a crit, doesn't matter. Professor Gazpacho wins, beating Declan. 5 Pokemon remaining, bringing home the first point of these 3 matches for the side of PokeCafé. Very, very strong showing. Really just shows you what can happen when you let a monstrous setup sweeper like that get out of hand. You need to respect setup sweepers. You need to. You cannot give them any space at all, as if you do, it can be over for you in just the blink of an eye. That match was the perfect demonstration. Next battlers will be getting ready behind the scenes. As Neo Ninja VGC on the side of PokeCafé does step up to the ring. I think they're fighting Winter Coyote. Indeed they are. Battlers aren't moving. In fact, they're currently selecting their Pokemon. As the battle does begin, so we have an Urshifu lead and a Glamora lead. Glamora is immediately threatened. They do go for the Surging Strikes. As due to Surging Strikes hitting the Glamora, it does immediately set 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. Perhaps it should have done that. I do hope you have hazard clearing. As the Rillaboom comes in. Urshifu will be forced out. As the Landorus comes in, taking a fake out. As Rillaboom actually takes more damage than the Landorus does due to Landorus's Rocky Helmet. As the opposing Urshifu comes in and the Landorus defogs, removing those entry hazards and making that Glamora basically valueless. Landorus will be forced out, however, as the Tiffany comes. Urshifu will likely be forced out this turn as the Jirachi comes in, taking Moonblast, caring too much, but its special attack is decreased depending on what set this Jirachi is using. That Jirachi does go for the Iron, doing too much on damage in the. As the Gliscor comes in, the Landorus U-turning out, knowing it threatens that Jirachi. Very risky coming in with the Gliscor, as it very well could have switched into a knockoff there, which would have removed its ability. Then this girl will be very swap heavy match so far. Rillaboom does come in, breaks and not carrying it. It will be very swap heavy match so far. If the toxic spikes were still up, this could be dating for it. But they're not up. They are well and gone as the Landorus comes in, taking a wood hammer and taking significant damage. Probably in range of being killed from a grassy glide, actually. Rillaboom does take both the Rocky Helmet damage and the recoil as it's brought into the yellow. Landorus is in a dire position. Fine, this Landorus does not have leftovers. Any damage done on it is permanent. The Aegislash comes in. taking very, very little from a grassy terrain is up, so if this Rillaboom goes for Earthquake, it will do less. This may be a prime opportunity for this Aegislash to use Substitute, as I don't know if a Rillaboom can break through it. Mind, this Rillaboom is also at -1 from that Intimidate. I do not believe an Earthquake in grassy terrain at -1 can threaten this Aegislash. It might be able to break through the substitute, but sure. As these Aegislash just straight up goes for a Shadow Ball, killing that Rillaboom. Offensive. As the Gliscor comes. Aegislash will switch out, bring the Tiny back in. The Gliscor goes for the Swords Dance. Potentially dangerous for losing that Rillaboom may hurt quite a lot for Winter Coyote, as that was one of their biggest Tapu Fini threats. And the threat and revenge killing that Rillaboom has is nearly uncontested. The Jirachi does come in. Tapu Fini going for the Surf. It's a critical hit. It hurts a lot. Bringing the Jirachi into the red. The Jirachi needs to be careful here. It likely outspeeds and does threaten with a flinch, but last time it went for an Iron Head was not enough to kill. Well, it would not be enough to kill. It could, of course, flinch, especially with Serene Grace. But that Jirachi losing so much health is very bad. It does go for the Iron Head as the does stay in, and it does flinch. The Tapu Fini can willingly take that one more time if it would. Landorus does come in, does get that Intimidate proc, but dies to the Iron Head. But the Jirachi actually dies to the Rocky Helmet damage. Probably a worthwhile trade there. That Landorus was extremely low. As the Mawile, likely Mega Mawile, comes in, and the Urshifu comes. Mega Mawile will be able to threaten with the Play Rough here. Tapu Fini cannot safely come in either, as it only has about a third of its health left and will die to an iron. Can't help but notice the formation around his name VGC Neo Ninja VGC, yeah, around. The Heatran does come in, taking basically nothing from a Play Rough. The Mawile will be forced out. I just noticed that Mawile didn't Mega. Very interesting choice, as the Heatran goes for the Magma Storm, crushing that Gliscor and also trapping it in. As the Blissey comes in, taking an amount of damage from Earthquake, but Blissey can just soft boiled through it. However, you need to be careful here, as cannot let this Gliscor could just set up on this Blissey. You need to be very careful here. And you cannot let this Gliscor just set up for. So it goes for the Facade. It is a crit. Blissey goes for the Seismic Toss. This Blissey will need to switch out or it will die. I think. I'm unsure. The Facade was a crit. It did a lot. I don't know if a non-crit Facade would be enough. Goes for the knockoff. The Blissey surviving with 2 health, killing the Gliscor with a Seismic Toss. The Mega Mawile, or maybe not Mega Mawile, regular Mawile potentially, comes back in. He is threatened. What do? Do you sacrifice it to bring something in safer? Hard switch. Hard switch into a potential Mega Mawile. Very, very risky. The Mawile does Mega Evolve. The Blissey goes for the Seismic Toss. The Mawile goes for a Swords Dance. This Mawile extremely slow, remember. As the Blissey does go for another Seismic Toss, bringing the Mawile down to 34%. Easily within range of being killed by other Pokemon, such as this Tapu Fini, which comes in ready to clean up this Mawile. I don't know if Mawile goes for Sucker Punch, and it fails as Tapu Fini goes for the Haze. Extremely risky. Resetting the Swords Dance that was used earlier by that Mawile. Tapu Fini will switch out. The Aegislash in as the Mama goes for another Sucker Punch. Aegislash coming in for free, taking no damage. If this Aegislash does have substitute, now is the turn to use it. I don't believe in Iron Head. Oh, the Sucker Punch does come out, and it does hurt a lot, but it doesn't hurt enough. The Aegislash does go for the Shadow Bull, does clean up the Mawile. Winter Coyote has been backed into a corner. Urshifu comes out. It does kill the Aegislash as the Tapu Fini comes in. He will use Moonblast. Will take out that Urshifu. And will clean up the match with that. The Ninja taking home the second point these matches for PokeCafé. Whether that does actually mean that Finny was likely scarfed, outspeeding that Urshifu. A very good match. Snorlex is not out of the game yet, though they still have one game remaining. And this is also our last match of the night. As Macholo onto the field versus someone whose name I can't read. Gato Utop of Snorlax. Macholo of PokeCafé. The battlers have stopped moving. I do believe they're selecting Pokemon now. Still looking right at me with hourglass. As our battle does start, as we see a Landorus lead and a Mega Lopunny lead. The Lopunny going for the triple axle, but it misses, unfortunately. That would have likely killed that Landorus, as it does switch out just in case. As the Heatran comes in, triple axle does hit this time. Will pop that air balloon. Goes for the protect. Seeing that Lopunny going for the U-turn as the Landorus comes back in. Rocky Helmet chip in the process as the Dondozo comes in, forcing the Landorus out and bringing the Tapu Fini in. Dondozo does go for Curse. It's an extremely bulky Pokemon that's very hard to break through, especially due to Curse and Unaware. Superior comes in as the Fini takes a Superior's Choice Scarf. That actually could be quite big. Actually, no, it's the other way around, sorry. Tapu Fini gets leftovers and Superior gets Choice Scarf. That could actually be very, very bad. As that Superior could now outspeed many things it couldn't before. As, oh my god, there's so many switchings I can't even keep up. Tapu Fini switches out to Heatran. Heatran uses Magma Storm as opposing Heatran comes in and has an air balloon but pops due to taking Magma Storm as the opposing one uses Lava Plume. And the Heatrans are now Earth powering each other. You can't Earth power a Heatran that has an air balloon. Oh goodness, there's so many things happening. As the Tapu Fini comes in, Earth power and not really caring. Zapdos coming in and taking a Hydro Pump. That means that this Fini is likely not running certain things. Very well could not be running Scold. Iron Hands comes in. Thunderbolt and notably, no booster energy on this Iron Hands. I expect a Assault Vest. Zapdos goes for the Roost. Iron Hands comes in with the Ice Punch, not doing much. Zapdos going for Hurricane. As Iron Hands goes for the Swords Dance. And again, doing a good amount of damage as the Iron goes for a Drain Punch. An Ice Punch will likely now kill the Zapdos. Entirely up to them if they wish to stay in. The score is currently 2-0 favoring PokeCafé. Is our final match. And we have Gato Utah and Micholo fighting. Gato Utah for Snorlex and Micholo for PokeCafé. As the Dondozo comes in, taking Ice Punch and frankly not caring at all. The Superior comes in, taking basically no damage from the Earthquake. Dondozo will have to be careful, as though it won't immediately die to a Leaf Storm, it will allow the Superior to set up. As the Superior goes for the Glare, the Heatran is paralyzed. Superior will be forced out. But that Heatran's air balloon is still not popped. It has remained for surprisingly long. The Tapu Fini comes onto field. Will force this Heatran out. See the Dondozo come back. Superior comes in, taking the Hydro Pump. Not really caring. Tapu Fini will be forced out. This is a very, very switch heavy game. I'm surprised we don't have any hazards on field. Heatran comes in. Superior does go for the Leech Seed, but it misses. This Heatran really, really low health. As the opposing Heatran comes in and rocks are set. Mind the opposing Heatran is paralyzed. So for the protect. Let's go for the Earth Power, but misses. Not misses, sorry. It cannot due to the Protect. I don't know which Heatran did. Well, I do. No, actually, no, I don't know which Heatran did that. The opposing Tapu Fini does switch out. Paralyzed. The Fini does press Moonblast on the Superior as it comes in. Both Stealth Rock and Moonblast damage. As the Heatran comes in. The Seed actually does hit this time. And the Palafin comes in, unable to set hero form just yet, but it will flip turn out the next time it comes in. It will have hero form as the Superior comes out. The Heatran coming in, Superior uses Leaf Storm. Finally, that air balloon is popped. Goes for the substitute. The Heatran goes for the Toxic, allowing the Superior to have at least one turn. Find that substitute as he goes for the Leaf Storm again. Going for Lava Plume, breaking that substitute. Superior is now +4. Another substitute as Heatran breaks through it immediately. Goes for another substitute as the Heatran breaks it immediately. I don't think your plan's gonna work. Tapu Fini comes into field. Lava Plume. Really caring too much for it. As the Superior comes in and the Hydro Pump misses, it does take Stealth Rock Chip. I think this Finny's actually scarfed now due to the trick that happened earlier. The Heatran comes in, does take Leech Seed, and actually dies from it. That's really unfortunate. The opposing Superior comes. And setting up Substitute again. Does take a bit of lower and lower. Beard goes for the Leaf Storm. It's a crit. And Heatran is paralyzed, can't do anything. Goes for another Leaf Storm, but misses. Goes for another Lava Plume. Superior needs to swap out this turn. Does, brings in the Finny. Likely knows what's coming around next. Could just press Moonblast. So the Superior does come in. It does take a Moonblast. It takes a significant amount of damage, but does not die. This Finny is scarfed, I believe, due to the trick that happened earlier. But it does not decide to stay in. Risky business. The Superior comes in. That Superior is seriously low. Breaking through that Superior could be a significant move for Macholo, as that will allow the Finny to do what it wants to do almost. As the Superiors hit each other with Leaf Storms, one barely surviving the other. As the Lopunny comes onto field, it knows that that Superior is in fake out range. As the Landorus comes in, intimidating the Lopunny, taking almost no damage from that Intimidate. In fact, almost killing the Lopunny through Rocky Helmet damage. Lopunny going for the close combat. It doesn't do much and actually dies from Rocky Helmet damage. The Landorus tries to go for the U-turn but can't. Gato Utop is in a rough position here. Just lost that Superior. Just lost that Lopunny. Gonna need to be extremely careful. As the Tapu Lele comes out. The Landorus is low. If this is a Specs Tapu Lele, a Psychic potentially kill it here. Finny comes in, taking a Moonblast. You want to be careful here. You want to keep that Finny alive and healthy. And he does get a special from that Moon. Another Moonblast. Almost killing it, but not quite. Then he goes for Moonblast as well, taking the Lele down a notch, and also getting the special attack drop as well. Finny will be forced out this turn, or risk dying, which it cannot do, as it is basically required to break through that Dondozo. At least while the Superior is at like 2 health. The Landorus will come in. The Moonblasts. The Jodlo's space. Landorus will die. As the Palafin comes in. It is not Psychic Terrain on the field, it is Misty Terrain, so a Jet Punch could work out here. May see the Dondozo swap in. And we do, as the Palafin goes for the flip turn, predicting the Dondozo as the Superior comes in, threatening this Dondozo right back out the field. Superior is potentially in a great spot here. Kills the Dondozo with a Leaf Storm. Threatens that Tapu Lele. I don't know if it kills, but certainly threatens. The only thing it doesn't threaten is that Heat. It's barely hanging on, if I remember. Does come in, does take the Leaf Storm. Superior does get the special attack increase. You want to keep the Superior alive. Another Leaf Storm will not kill this Heatran despite how low it is. As the Iron Hands comes in, I forgot that was even a Pokemon in this fight. I'm expecting a Swords Dance. We're gonna get a Swords Dance. Or is the Iron Hand's gonna play it safe and just put this Heatran in the ground? Goes for the Thunder Punch, expecting the Dondozo swap in. That Dondozo will die to another Thunder Punch. The Dondozo is extremely low. The Heatran is extremely low. But the Lele is still kicking at 60%. Dondozo does die, does go down. Cholo has a huge upper hand here. Gato Utop still has a chance, but needs to fight for it. Lele comes back on field. Iron Hands might be threatened out here. It is likely running Assault Vests. Be threatened out. Do you believe its typing is Fighting Electric? It is weak to both that Moonblast and that Psychic. Of course, this Lily may have Psyshock bypassing the Assault Vest entirely. Superior comes in, trying to the Psyshock. As the Palafin does come in. Remember, do not press Jet Punch here. Psychic Terrain is up. Good move. Sacking that Superior now that the Dondozo is down. The only thing that was required for. Zapdos comes in as the Palafin goes for another flip turn, killing Zapdos in the process. Does take Rocky Helmet damage, but doesn't matter too much.
Does Gato Utop have an answer for this Palafin? Or it doesn't matter because the Palafin's swapping. Macholo is thinking about what they're going to swap in, but either way, does Gato Utop have an answer for this Palafin? I'm unsure. Heatran certainly isn't an answer. As the Finny comes in, the Lele comes in. Lele taking more and more rock chip every single time it comes in. Iron Hands comes in, taking an energy ball and not really caring. If this is choice locked, this is very bad for this Lele. Heatran comes in, taking a Thunder Punch and dying. The last Pokemon remaining on Gato Utop's side is this Lele. It has to break through an Iron Hands, it has to break through a Tapu Fini, and it has to break through a Palafin. I don't think it can. I think this may be guaranteed to go to Macholo unless they massively mess this up. But the Psyshock kills the Iron Hands. Vinny comes into field. Getting rid of that psychic terrain could be huge. Allows that Palafin to come in with the Jet Punch. The Palafin comes in, is able to Jet Punch here, uncontested. I think this is the end. It does. As Macholo beats Gato Utop with that one Pokemon remaining, as the final point of the day will go to PokeCafé, as PokeCafé 3-0s Snorlex. Really, really close match at the end there, but Macholo playing fantastically and getting the victory. Some brilliant fights today. PokeCafé will be walking away with 3 more points on the board. Snorlax, however, will be losing another 3 points. Very unfortunate for them. They have a rough set of group matches ahead of them. Hope they're able to pull their weight together to get some more points on the board. Either way, thank you all for coming to watch. Thank you for all the fighters who have participated in today's matches. Of course, you know, all the teams, all the servers that have come to participate in this. Thanks to all the organizers and refs and support and everyone who makes this tournament possible. And once again, thank you for coming to watch. If you wish to support the Pixelmon World Cup, you can do so on our website. There's a sponsor segment. We do have more matches coming up in the coming days. I don't know if we have any tomorrow. Just check the schedule. You can check our exact schedule by joining our Discord server, which is also on the website. Let me just check the schedule. No, we do not have any fights tomorrow. We do have one rematch, set for the 5th of July. That is just a single fight. And we have our next proper sets of fights between Journey Gaming and The Node, and PokeGalaxia and Nitromon on Saturday, July 6th. Once again, come onto our server and check the exact scheduling if you want to know the exact times things are happening. Thank you all very, very much for watching. We really do hope to see you next time. My name was Alba. I was your commentator today, and I hope to see you soon.